right, everyone, here we are with ticker symbol Nndm, Nano Dimensions. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say to all my first-time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel, Invest for Tomorrow, and to all the subscribers, welcome back. So we're going to talk about Nano Dimensions here. We're going to kind of break down the chart real quick. I'm going to move everything around. And interesting enough, when it looks like Nano Dimensions is overpriced, there is still one that sees value in such a price and such a chart. So we're going to jump into this. We're going to look at it quickly. We're going to break it down, and we're going to talk about ARK Invest. ARK Invest has actually taken a larger stake. I had been watching them closely when they're at $7. They weren't buying, and all of a sudden, now that it's at $7, they're now buying above it. Right? It hit $7 on Friday. They didn't make any purchases. I actually circled the previous times that I was watching when it was over $7. They weren't purchasing. And now they've actually purchased above $7 and even on its way up towards the $8 mark. So we're going to look at how much they actually made their stake, right, larger in this. And let's look at our 50-day moving average, our new resistance, and so forth. So let's break this down, and this is great news for all of you that are investors in Nano Dimensions. Great stuff here for every single investor invested in Nano Dimensions. I think that's going to make you guys really glad to know about this information, and I look forward to seeing your guys' comments in regards to all this information. So let's break it down. So obviously there's going to be volatility. If the bulls continue the momentum, they're going to break right through the resistance level, turn it into a support, and continue. But we got to look at this support, and I would actually suggest looking at a midway point here at around this point here at 776 as an extra support level before getting to the 50-day moving average. So I just want to advise every single investor on that. So 776. So the 50-day moving average is 730. I'd write that down. As long as we're above it, the bulls are in control. The moment we're below it, the bears are in control, and then you have that midway point. I would use it 776. This is optional and additional to what we're about to talk about, but you kind of have a midway point to see how much more lower it's going, or could it bounce back before getting there if it breaks through this support. Our support level is 820. If that gets broken through, watch this very carefully. Watch how quickly it's moving down, or are the bulls trying to reappear. It's currently at 835, and the resistance is 841. That needs to be turned into a support by the bulls, turn it into a support, pull away from it, and reach newer highs and new resistance levels. So I want every single investor to be aware that 841 needs to be broken through and turn into a support by the bulls. All right, so this can continue the upward movement. So let's look here at what there was their total stake on Friday, right? ARK Invest in Nano Dimensions, and what was the value, and what is their stake now, and what's the value. So ARK Invest on the 18th, which was Friday, right? That was last Friday. We're on the 21st, and Nano Dimensions was 4,088,293 shares in total. That was their stake of total shares, and this was the total value, around 29 million. Well, ARK Invest has stepped it up, and you can see that Nano Dimensions has went from 22nd place in the listing to 17th place. I've said in my previous videos that when they were around 3 million, I could see this reaching 4 million total shares. Now that they hit 4 million, I could see this being anywhere between 4.5 to 5 million in total shares for their stake in Nano Dimensions. So I can see there's some room here for them to continue to buy. I just needed them to actually purchase above $7. They were a little bit hesitant over this period of time to get on in when it was above $7. I don't know why, what was their reasoning, or what were they waiting for or analyzing, but something was holding them back from making purchases over $7. They weren't selling, which is a good thing, but they just weren't purchasing. So here we are with Nano Dimensions, right, at 4,248,838 shares now. So they went up by almost 160 shares. and their value went from 29 million to almost 36, 35.7. So right there you can see it went up by a total amount of about 6 million, and it's on its way almost to 7 million above the value where it was. I also said that as I started seeing this growing, this could end up being one of their top 15 and possibly top 10 as the value continues to grow and as they continue to grow their stake. So I think ARK Invest is onto something with Nano Dimensions. It makes no sense for them to average up unless there's a real goal moving forward. And I believe that they see value that many are probably overlooking. They're taking that stake, that risk, and it says a lot. It speaks in high volumes. I say that in every single video, but very interesting to go from 4,088,000 to 4,200,000 plus, right? The value went up. I mean, the stock soared today. I mean, we could see that here in the chart. So their value obviously went up, and we want to watch this closely. You're going to have that 776 point as a midway point to guide yourself on how quickly this is moving down, or could the bulls reappear. But for the momentum to continue and hit newer highs fairly quickly, it's going to have to be from the bulls and their part to break through this resistance 841. So I want every single investor to continue to keep that in mind. Now, if it does go down, as long as it stays above the 50-day moving average, there's an opportunity for the bulls to reappear either tomorrow or in the short term, and the volatility of the market does exist. It's going to run up, come back down, and so forth. We've seen that happen over time. Now, the other surprise would be a direct offering, right? Let's see this run another $1 from where it's at, or like another 50 cents, and all of a sudden a direct offering's coming. That's going to be one of those things that will catch investors by surprise. And the way that Nano Dimensions has been handling it, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt that they would have the courage and they would be bold enough to do another offering. But right now we don't have any news on that. We need to watch for that. I'm not stating or trying to jinx it. I'm just saying the way they've acted about it, you could see that they take that opportunity. We'll have to see if they need any more offerings or if they have enough cash on hand to start to move forward with things and continue the innovation and product, which is probably one of the most valuable things right now Nano Dimensions has. And then you could just see ARK seeing an opportunity here. The way they look at this chart and the way they're purchasing when they purchase based off this chart, you could just see how ARK Invest looks at Nano and looks at it as opportunity. So I look forward to seeing all your guys' comments down below and thoughts. I mean, I was pretty amazed. I was waiting for them to purchase more anywhere above $7, and they took it to the next level. They actually started purchasing on its way up closer to $8, which is an even bolder statement on their end to say, hey, we've been averaging up. We were trying to not average up too high, but we're averaging up just fine because there's more room, right? Just because ARK Invest does that, though, it doesn't mean that or guarantee that, but I'm just trying to go ahead and take a look at things from their perspective and how they're deciding these things. So the only thing that can really make sense to me is that they see more room. There's no problem with averaging up. But they were hesitant at the $7 mark. It's almost like they were hanging on there. They were trying to see if they can value invest, right, quote unquote, and get it below that point as much as possible. Because if they're trying to get as much as possible below it, that means that they see this multiplying from that number forward a certain amount, either by 2, 3, or 4, or 5, sometimes even 10x. But we don't know exactly what it is that they're seeing there or what they think. I mean, there's a lot of documentaries out there and articles that they say different things, and there's a lot of videos out there saying different things. But I could see why they would be a little hesitant, because they saw that there was a cap on how much more their money could multiply by from this point forward. But the fact that they took another stake, I mean, they still see value, they still see opportunity, and they still see innovation for Nano Dimensions. So I look forward to seeing your guys' comments down below on how you feel about this, what your portfolios are looking like. Did you swing trade this? Did you hold through this? And if you like this video and found it helpful and informative, smash that like button for me to let me know you'll watch this video. Share this with your friends and community. And for all the first-time viewers and subscribers that have not subscribed yet and came across this video and found this helpful and informative as well, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click on the bell so you don't miss a single video that I post. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.